Hey, now that we're recording. All right, so super excited that you guys have committed to join week 2. And take that here. I'll make sure. Yep, there we go. That should be better. So last week you had Johnny, and now this week you have myself, and I feel pretty honored. So I don't know how many of you know me besides Michelle and Courtney. They kind of know who I am, but my name is Christina Stark. I've been with Janberry a little over 3 years. I started as the creative director, so I'm a graphic designer by trade, and I moved into the sales role about a little over a year and a half ago. And what I absolutely love about this position that has never been afforded me before is that I get to create relationships with women. All right. And this week, I believe, is Ignite and Inspire. And so therefore, I guess I'm chosen to be the inspirational one because I tend to be motivational and inspirational. And I'm going to let you know, I think it's perfect because I'm going to I wear a lot of bracelets here. And let's see if I can get you guys to see this. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Let's see if I can get it there. But if you can see it, the word inspire is my word for the year. And I didn't choose this word, my husband did. And so I absolutely love that he picked a word that happened to be like something that meant, so he obviously knows me. And I love what I do because I can inspire people. So last year, my word was fearless because that's what we chose kind of as a company. But this year, I picked a word, or I received a word that basically works for me. So one of the things that I want you to think about when we talk about igniting and inspiring, we got to start somewhere. And I wonder if you, because the new year is a great time for this, how many of you have chosen a word that is going to be your mantra for the year? How many of you? So just think about it. If you want to chat, you can send me your words, and I'd love to know. Michelle says, me. So Michelle, okay, let's see. Unmute yourself and explain what your word happens to be.
Okay, my word is focus. And I spent a lot of time just sort of jotting down words that came to my head, and I had huge varieties, some that were really specific, some that were really broad. And the word that just kept bubbling up that felt right for this year was focus. And I think that's part of what this training is too. Really, instead of being all scattered and frenetic and trying to kind of do everything at once, we're really trying to be intentional. And so I'm really trying to do that both in my personal business and with my team this year.
Awesome. Awesome. I love the word focus. Some of the ladies that I coach also have the word growth. Okay, this is the year for them to grow, not only in their business, but in their personal development. Okay, it's a way for them to stretch, a way for them to do things that they are uncomfortable doing. So I want you to think about a word, and this, just as Michelle described, it is basically going through and writing words that come to your mind. And through the process of thinking about them and how do they relate to me and my business, or maybe something that I want to become, what is that word that speaks to you? And everyone is different. And if you have the same word as somebody else, that's totally fine. But it is a word that speaks to you because it's your word, okay? So the interesting thing is that, again, I go back, this is a mantra bracelet, the one that my husband got for me. So mantra is something that we keep saying to ourselves to get us through some of those difficult times, okay? So there are days where I don't want to feel inspiring. I just don't, okay? It's the end of the day. I've had it. Some of my coaching calls, just the girls aren't doing what they need to do. And I sit there and I take it upon myself like, oh my gosh, I'm such a failure. But the thing about it is that that's not my job. I have to remember that that word inspire is just do the best you can do. It's not anybody else. It's It's all that you can do, okay? So this word, again, it comes from here, but I want you to pay attention to this right here. If you can see, this is what Mantra Band happens to say, all right? They're on a mission to inspire and empower. Two major words that I think that's exactly why I do this. This is why I do what I do every single day. I'm hoping to inspire people and empower them to be better and do better than they have in the past, okay? So that's how I happen to find my word, and I think my husband already knew that deep down inside and just kind of gave that to me. So another thing that I want to talk about when you think about how do you get excited about what you do, okay, is a vision board. Now, before you tune out, all right, I'm going to show you my vision board. This is my vision board right here. It's not a huge, giant vision board, you know. It's something that I can fit on my desk. So if I take my iPad right here, it's about the size of my iPad, okay? It could be something that you put inside of your planner. It could be something that is on your desktop. Needs to be visual, okay? So the thing about it is that if you can look at my vision board right here, these are some of the things that speak to me. This is my vision board. This is not your vision board. Your vision board will have different things that speak to you. But I am known as the Queen of Sparkle, the Queen of Frosting. That's a totally different thing, okay? But I want to make sure that it's important for me to make a difference with people's lives, okay? And I have to realize that practice, or is that what it says? Progress, not perfection. I always say practice makes progress. So this is as close as I could get. But because I have to realize that I'm not here to be perfect. We're going to all make mistakes. I make mistakes in my job all the time, you know, but I am learning from them. And as I take people on my journey with me, they're learning too. Here's my word. It's on there. I got to make sure that my word is there so I always see this, okay? I love to travel. So this is something that's important to me. And I am traveling quite a bit this year, but I'd love to travel to Tahiti. Tahiti's on my bucket list. One day I will get there. I keep saying that to my husband. All right. I want to stay on time. I tend to sometimes go overboard on things. And so I'm trying to be punctual today. I'm going to try to be punctual, but it's not about being on time, but it's about respecting my other commitments. Okay. I'm a religious type of girl, so I'm very faith-based, okay? So that is one of the things that I need to make sure that I continue to strive to live up to my values that I've set for myself. And then, of course, fearless, okay? I need to be, and I love this warrior. You know, this girl is clothed in armor, and she's fearless. She's going to go into battle not knowing what she's got to face, but she's going to do it anyways. And I add a little sparkle because I know that I'm always going to add a little flair to it, okay? So, and of course, I'm known for my tiaras, so I put that on there. But some of the things, you know, you decide what you put on your vision board. I have this in a place in my office, so I have it right next to my computer, so I can always see that and remind myself that there are some things. Oh, the other one is about my spouse. I tend to leave my spouse. I tend to do more at work and not come home. So my husband's all like, you know, I'm here at home. And so this is my thing to remind me that I need to have energy at the end of the day to support him as well and give it to him instead of just giving to all the girls at in Jamland. So, all right. So that's my vision board. Now, when you think about a vision board, it could be a rank for you. It could be a new car. And your vision board may or may not happen. Like my trip to Tahiti may not happen this year, but it's on there. And so I'm, you know, saving a little bit of money so that I can squirrel that away for a trip. Maybe one day I will surprise my husband and say, hey, I saved enough miles and some money so we can go. So it just depends on what you put on there, but there are things that are important to you. So I want you to think about a vision board. If you haven't done it, make a small one. And maybe it just starts with the word of the year that you choose. Okay. Maybe your why is on there. What is your why? If it does not speak to you, if you don't have passion behind it, it's not going to keep you in this business. Okay. It's not about the money. You can't say money. Money provides opportunities. So it can't be just about the money. It's about the opportunity it affords you. So think about that. So if it's, you say it's about your kids, what is it about your kids? Why is it your kids? Is it really that you want to stay home with them because you've seen what happens in public school? Or maybe there's some things that are happening that really bother you. So that's why, because it's passionate to you, that's why it's your why. Okay? So I want to talk to you today also about something that I uploaded to the files section in the Battle Buddy Bootcamp file section. It's called The Emotional Cycle of Sales, okay? And this is where I want you to get, this is the inspiration and the ignition, okay? We all start out in this section here. So if you can't read this, this is all on the files section. So just know that you can go there and download this. But I want you to know we are all excited, okay? We are at an excitement phase when we begin as a Jamberry consultant. Depending on where you are in your Jamberry journey, how long you've been here, you've probably gone through this cycle maybe several times, all right? But the trick is we need to make sure that we are constantly here. This is what happens, is that how many of you have gotten no from bookings? Or you talk to somebody, okay? Great, yeah. We are just so frustrated, okay? We feel defeated. We're overwhelmed, okay? Everybody cancels. People got the flu, okay? We all know that. So what is it that you do to make sure that you don't stay here very long, okay? Because a lot of people just kind of stay in this cycle, or what happens is that they start to go then here into the doubt section, okay? And we start to sit here and go, I can't even do this. This is why I talk about your why. You have to go back to your why. It's got to be powerful enough for you to go, oh my gosh, I really need to make those phone calls. I need to follow up with that person. They were interested, or I've got to find a new way to break out and get outside of my VIPs, okay? Because your VIPs, I'm sorry, ladies, that's like staying in the same swimming pool forever and ever and ever, okay? There are so many other gorgeous Olympic-sized swimming pools and so many beautiful lakes and places that you could be. But what we do is we tend to stay in that cycle, okay? So we get frustrated and then we start doubting ourselves. This up here, ladies, is your best tool, or it can also be your worst tool. Because if you say to yourself, oh, I can't do this. Well, you already told yourself, your brain, I can't do this. But if you say, okay, I've got this. I don't care, brain, what you're saying about sucking or having a crappy day. I'm going to show you, okay? So that's where we start to go through the doubt. But what happens is that like, okay, I'm going to do this. But I got to organize my desk first. Oh my gosh, I got to create those file folders. Oh, I'm going to make that follow-up binder system. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, wait a second. I need to really go cook something. Okay. Oh, I've wanted to watch that video for a really long time. I'm going to watch that. But what happens is we stay there. We find every reason to stay here. Oh, yeah. As soon as I get that done, I'm going to work it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So really what happens is that we need to be in this phase, and this phase for a very short time. Very short. Okay. So then we get back to the recommitment phase. And the recommitment phase is where we sit there and go, that's right. My why. Okay. Yeah. That's the reason why I do this, okay? Any hurdle that you have, you can get over it with that why. You recommit, you recognize, okay, there were some silver linings this week. You always look at the positive. Does that mean that you're always positive? No, doesn't mean that you're always positive, okay? Remember I said progress is measured in very small things, okay? Somebody answered a text, okay? Or somebody gave you a referral. You made a sale with somebody who came out of the blue. They're little tiny things. Or if you got recognized by your upline, there are small things that can get you back from recommitment to that excitement phase. We need to remember that 2, 3, 4, not great places to stay, but we want to get back into 5 and back into 1, okay? Because this will always be a cycle. If you can see the arrows, okay, we want to make sure that we stay. These should have been our biggest arrows, but we had to fit a lot of text on here, so sorry about that. But anyways, so I want you to also print this out. I need you to have this out where you can see it and recognize what phase are you in right now, okay? If you want to get to LC, okay, if you want to get there, what is it going to take? What is it going to take? And as I've explained in my LC to PC group, the Leadership Goal Diggers group, I always say, if your mouth is not open, you're not open for business. Okay? You have to talk to people. This is a person-to-person sales model. You need to be talking to people. Okay? You need to be communicating to people. You need to be talking and sharing with people. Look for people. Okay? You have to, it's not passive. You can't sit back and expect everything to come to you. You have to be active, looking, okay? So I want to, those are some of the things that I, wanted to share with you. Anybody have any comments? I know it's 6:50 right now, so I want to make sure that anybody experienced one of those phases and how they got out of one of those phases. I see somebody has a really great kitchen in here. So I don't I don't see a face. Oh, there she is. There she is. All right. Anybody have an experience? You can chat and then we can get on them. Okay. Oh, Courtney has experienced this. Courtney, do you want to share kind of your experience from that? How you've gotten out of it?
Sure. So, I've definitely experienced all of it. I'm coming up on 4 years with Jamberry, and I know that there were definitely times where before I hit team manager, when I got into Jamberry, I didn't really think I was going to build a team at all. And then I started to build one, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get there. And then my roller coaster kind of started going backwards instead of forwards. And to be honest, I was in a little bit of a funk probably for a while, longer than we want to be in it. And I just kind of told myself, it's not going to happen, and that's okay if it doesn't happen. But what happened in that time and how I got out of it is I really just focused on how much fun I was having. And I just said, I'm just going to share this because I love to share it. And I'm going to, just really pour into my VIPs because they make me really happy. And in putting all that effort into my business I guess I didn't really realize at the time I was doing that, but in doing that, that really opened up so many more opportunities for me because I wasn't this needy person, chasing people down to join my team. Instead, I was just somebody enjoying the ride, and that kind of pulled me out back into that excitement. And that kind of just helped me, to build a team and to get where I am today.
Fantastic. See, that's exactly where this word excitement, we kind of sit here and go, what's that word? It's fun.
Right.
It's the fun. That is part of where we need to remember. And this is, I call it the Jam Love List. You need to write down what you love about Jamberry, what it's given you. Before, from starting with Jamberry to now, or some of the things that just happened in the past, maybe it is, oh my gosh, I have longer nails now. I don't bite my nails. Maybe it is, oh my gosh, I've been able to have a Starbucks instead of having to brew my own coffee every day. Maybe it is, oh my gosh, I've been able to put my child in dance camp, band camp, sports camps, whatever it is. Small things. They don't have to be grandiose things, because the thing about it is that you have to start somewhere. You cannot compare yourself with somebody else's journey who has been in this for 4.5 years and expect your journey to be the exact same path. You cannot, because each person is so different. You may have 4 kids and that person doesn't have a kid, or they may have special needs kids and you have 4 special needs kids, or you work a full-time job and they've never had to and have a nanny. Okay, so you just never know, but we compare and go, oh my gosh, I want what she has. Well, it took her a while and some hard work to get there. So imagine yourself in that same time frame. Give yourself some grace so that you can grow and build your own business and just be happy and have fun along the way. It is all about that, okay? So along with that, because I know I don't want to be here very long because you all had very long, busy days too, but I want to talk about our values, our Jamberry values, okay? So this is what drew me to this company, and I got to be a part of when we created the Jamberry brand values. Our Jamberry brand values are be unique, be creative, be a family, be a blessing, and be generous, okay? So I created these cards. There were some different cards in here. So this is a Christina original, okay? And so I get to be creative, but I want you to think of how do we utilize these values in your business? How are you unique? Okay? Remember, we value the individual. We want you to be you. Okay? We want you to be creative. How do you solve challenges? Are you upbeat? Do you go out and cheer on other people? How are you creative? Now, we all know you can be creative with your manis, but think beyond the mani. How can you be creative in your business? Are you creating, social media squares that you share with your team? Okay? And then be a family. How do we be a family? Now, all families are all a bit dysfunctional. We all know that, okay? But how can we create a cohesive family? How are you part of the Jamily? What are you doing to contribute and creating a strong bond with one another? How can you be a blessing? Okay, we know people who do blessing bags. What does that mean? Maybe you're not able to do a blessing bag. So how can you be a blessing? Can you think about, okay, I'm going to be fearless and I am going to share the opportunity with people, everybody I meet. I'm going to share, okay? We're going to say, oh my gosh, I have found this product. It's made a difference in my life, and I know that you would love it too. And no matter what they say, it's the same thing as if you go out and share a restaurant review, or if you share a car review, or share whatever. It's the same thing. How have you seen this business be a blessing to others? And then be generous. That is with your time, your talents, okay? Can that be with money that you earn, fundraisers, giving back to your community, sharing your time, helping out with FADV? How can you be generous? Doesn't have to be with money all the time, okay? So I have these, and if you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it, but these pencils have each of those values on there, okay? So I don't know if you can see all of them, but each of these pencil packs has each one of these values on it, okay? So I'm going to ask you to do some homework. There's 3 things that I want you to do. And I'm going to pick 3 random winners, okay? And you'll get a pencil pack plus some other goodies from me, all right? But I wanted you to see this so that you guys could pay attention. But I have 3 things for you to do before we leave for the evening. All right, so number 1, and you've got to post it, okay? I need you to download this. Put it where you can see it. And I want you to determine which segment you are in currently in your business and what your plan is to get out or get into 5 and 1 by the end of this month, okay? So you have to have a deadline, because a goal is nothing without a deadline. So I want you to do that. That's number 1. I want you to identify your word of the year and why that word speaks to you, and I want you to display it. Okay? So this is on your honor. You're not, you can attach a photo if you want, but this is on your honor. And then, I know this sounds like a lot, but you're going to get some pretty fun prize packets, okay? I want you to share your value. Which one of these values speak to you, okay? Which one of these values, share one of them, and why it means what it does in your business, okay? I want you to share it then with your battle buddy. You don't have to share it with me, but I want you to share it with your battle buddy, okay? So, any comments? You can type it here. I want to make sure you guys understood that. So 3 things that you're going to do, because I want you to be ignited. I want you to be excited, okay? Realize that this business is fun. Is it a business? Yes, it is. And does business mean work? Yes, it does. But it can be fun work. It can be so much fun. I love what I do, okay? Taking some of my evening because I love what I do and I want to share it with you. I do what I do because I can see that it adds value to people's lives. All right, so let's see. I got a comment here, a question. What pointers do you have for helping anyone who might be in the frustration or doubt area break free from that? Okay, this is where I talk about the JAM love list. I want you to write down the JAM love list, okay? It can be 5 things, it can be 10 things. I want you to write it on a piece of paper, and I want to have you put it right into your, if you have a planner, or it's on your keyboard, on your laptop, it is on your monitor, wherever you can see it. And I want you to read it before you even start working. I want you to say, and I don't want you to read it like in your head. I want you to verbalize it. You have to speak it in order to believe it. If you don't speak it, you will not believe it. Your ears and your mouth are auditory instruments, and they are there for a purpose. You can hear yourself when you say things out loud. I've done this exercise where there was a time where I just didn't feel so great about myself, and I had to write down 10 qualities I like about myself. So I got down to, hey, I like my kneecaps. I like my elbows. How silly is that, okay? At the end of the day, I was, oh my gosh, I have gorgeous kneecaps. I love my elbows. I was saying these out loud, and I know that sounds really kind of voodoo-ish or hokey or whatever, but trust me, read out your JAM love list out loud, and you will be better. I promise that, okay? So, all right. Yeah, we all get, oh, show us your kneecaps. I got pants on. So, I am grateful that you guys were able to join me, and please feel free to tag me in this. What I'll do is I'll render this, and then I'll upload it into the group, and those who are not able to join us tonight hopefully can listen to this and get inspired and ignited, okay? And okay, for Sarah, I know that we all get overwhelmed. Start with one thing, just one thing. And do that one thing, okay? I know that if it's like, oh, I can't get bookings, got to pick up the phone, fill out the Frank's list, focus on that, okay? Don't worry about recruiting and all of that until you can speak with people. If you cannot speak with people, I want you to get confident about that, okay? And do the best darn job that you can. Don't, overwhelmed. I listen to self-help books, podcasts. There's a great podcast called Tiny Leaps, Big Changes, and super helpful about motivation, okay? So Tiny Leaps, Big Changes, my favorite podcast of all time. So, all right. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great evening. Make it productive and be the best that you can be, okay? All right, guys, thanks so much. See you later.